you chose Stanford, you did projects with Misha, and this is the one you guys decided to go to YC with. Did you consider other projects that were interesting that you thought could be startups, and why pick this one to be a startup idea? Why not digging Stanford farms? Agriculture is pretty hard nowadays.
Yeah, it's growing. I think we had lots of ideas, and I think Misha had many ideas actually, which was awesome. But ultimately, I don't know. I don't know that I would have done this if it had been for another idea or another area of business. Like I don't know, there's something so fun, which I hadn't really known about before, around working in a startup and just trying to like build something from nothing.
Right.
That said, you need to have, like, there are also going to be tough times, and you need to have conviction in what you're doing. And so I think this was an idea that we really connected with, and you know, similar to you, we're very adjacent.
Right.
Here's a future customer. But ultimately, you know, what we do is a challenge that we've experienced, the challenge of not being able to access credit, rent apartments, get a postpaid cell phone plan and beyond, because of not having credit here in the US and a credit history here in the US. And so, you know, I remember applying for a credit card and getting rejected, trying to get a cell phone plan. I'm actually on this wonderful guy, Jason Scott family plan, so thank you, Jason. Or similarly, you know, with my apartment, I had this wonderful flatmate, Whittaker, who she kindly, you know, set up all the utilities and did all of that because I couldn't really access them. So there are, you know, having to rely on these duct tape solutions and them being insufficient versus thinking, okay, how can we make a systemic innovation here to change this problem?
Misha sort of had this idea. I also remember you guys did a lot of research. You went and talked to a lot of people at Stanford. What did you find in that research? So you had your personal experience of
we did, and we still do. We always try and do user interviews all the time. I think it's really easy, especially as a company that's B2B. It's been easy for us at times to sort of, you know, focus really on the B2B side of things, but ultimately, like, our mission is around the actual consumers. It's around the people who've moved country, and so how can we be close to it? So we've done, you know, hundreds upon hundreds of user interviews. I think I've personally probably done at least a couple of hundred, if not more. Doing some more soon. So we did lots of those user interviews across, you know, different ethnic, socioeconomic, cultural, etc. groups, to understand, like, hey, what were the challenges when you moved? And it was so universal hearing this challenge. That was what was striking, and it was also so universal how tightly bound those communities are and how much like word of mouth. I think that's why like still it's so successful. Like, you know, in many ways, like there's word of mouth around a product, around specific communities, and you just drive that traction. And so powerful just seeing how connected those communities are, how uniform that problem is. And then also, you know, in parallel, I remember at the time we would sort of create like printouts of credit reports, and we would like walk into these random bank branches and ask the person there, like, would you underwrite this? And they sort of look at us and be like, what are these kids doing? But what we heard was basically yes, like we want this data around the world, we just don't really know how to access it, we don't know how to interpret it, we don't know if it's compliant or secure or not fraudulent, and that's where we started to conceive more and more of building this global credit bureau.